everyone and welcome back to Whiskey Wednesday. A couple of changes, bigger beard, nicer shirt, stepping things up for you all. 1 million views, which is unbelievable. Thank you all so much for that. Been really busy, so I apologise for being away, but we're back now and we're going straight into the deep end. And we're talking about the stuff that's on trend, Game of Thrones. Not bought all of them, just bought the ones I really liked, or the ones I like the idea of. So I bought the Lochnagar, the Kleinliche and the Lagavulin. I'm going to be trying the Lagavulin today. Lot of hype, lot of demand. They're selling out everywhere and selling for a fortune online, but I open these because I like to drink what I buy. What is it? It's a 46% Lagavulin. It's a 9-year-old, so not seen that before. It's almost like an in-between gap between the 8 and the 12, but not cash strength, but is a limited release, but does a couple of unusual things. Doesn't state any sort of barrel influence or what it's been in. We'll get into that a little bit more, but we'll go into the nose and we'll see what's going on. I've not had Lagavulin 16 for a long time, but it doesn't remind me of that in any single way from what I can remember. I get a lot of sherry, I get a lot of tropical notes, and I also get this nice kind of smoked, meaty, classic Islay thing going on with it. But that tropical note really kind of hits up at the top. It's loads of pineapples and melons and like white grapes and these kind of big, juicy, ripe, exotic fruits. Underneath that, you've got kind of like smoked sausage and prosciutto, it's kind of like big, fatty deli meats, like smoked kind of European meat. And then classically, because it's a younger Islay, the smoke's a little bit more present. It's a little bit more, it's not too dominant. It's like a nice third split of like tropical fruitiness, meaty savouriness, and then like a little wisp of smoke, kind of bringing it all together. But we'll taste it, we'll see what's going on. Does it live up to Lagavulin standards? Is it a little bit more unusual? Yeah, it does what you want it to. Initially, the way it coats your tongue, it's very tropical. Again, it's sugary, it's quite sweet. After the initial blast of that, the meat pulls through, that big savoury note comes through, and it's like charcoal and seaweed and really heavy, kind of like, you know, that pink Himalayan salt, like a little bit too much of it's a bit too powerful. That really overy, savoury, salty note. But within the whiskey, it works quite nicely. As the finish pulls through, the intensity dies down, and that's when the smoke begins to appear. So as one thing drops, another rises up. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of Lagavulin, but I think every bottling I've ever tried of Lagavulin tastes different. The 8 was really light. The 12s are always like big and powerful and always very different. The 16 is, you know, a big cigar smoke, sherry sweetness. This is like a combo of the 8 and the 12, as I said before. It's got the big tropical light nature of the 8-year-old and then the power of the 12. We'll try it one more time and we'll just kind of give you a nice finishing profile. It was like a little bit chilly, more salt again. Almost like that savoury blue cheesy kind of note, you know, that kind of unusual, funky, savoury thing blue cheese has you can't quite put your finger on. There's an element of that running through it. But a lovely contrast, big sweet tropicalness of melons and grapes and, you know, kiwis and lime and grape. And then a nice follow through into savoury meatiness and then into this more classical kind of smoke vibe it has. A wonderfully balanced whiskey. In the UK, it's about £65 a bottle. Lagavulin limited releases are always that kind of like £50 to £100 mark. So that's not unusual pricing in my mind. It's quite typical for a young limited edition Lagavulin. Overall, taste and price wise, I think it's very, very good. Like a solid 8. I don't think there's anything wrong with it in any way. It's a shame that we've not been told how many have been produced or what the cask selection is. But either way, I think it's a really, really nice whiskey, and if you're a Lagavulin fan, I think you'll really enjoy it, because I am. So that is the Lagavulin Lannister Game of Thrones edition 9-year-old. This is Whiskey Wednesday. Welcome back to you all, and indeed, this is the Whisky Shop Manchester. Pop by if you're around, because I'm leaving my bottle in the shop. And thank you all for watching, and we will see you again next week. Cheers.